Welcome, 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 welcome. One more again. Now, everybody likes to talk about the brilliance of what took place in the interview that won't go away. But Shannon Sharpe now is pissed because all of the haters have come out to hate on him. But this is what he should understand more than anything. You're Shannon Sharpe. You know one of two things. Success breeds envy and jealousy. It always has. There is no mistake there at all. That's what success breeds. So when you're really successful, that's when the people you thought was your friends is going to come out and try to dump on you. Hit the like button and subscribe to the page. Now, what Steven Jackson said explains everything what Kwame Brown was talking about. When they went up there and did that to Kwame Brown, a guy that they played basketball with, when they went over there to crack the jokes about him, and they were like, everybody else crack jokes about you, you ain't said nothing. Now we say one little thing, now you want to come at us? Okay. He just had enough. And the fact that y'all were the ones that did it, that got under his skin. Absolutely it did. Now, Steven Jackson has the audacity to criticize Shannon Sharpe on what he's doing and tell him, like, you don't know what you're doing. Now, I agree, Shannon Sharpe was kind of a novice in this situation of conducting the interview and with some sense of control. But the realm of what Steven Jackson is going and where I was going are completely different areas. I have no jealousy for Shannon Sharpe and Club Shay Shay or anything that he's doing. I just think him working with Gilbert Arenas is a mistake, but that's on him. But everything else he's done, I have supported. Even though I totally annihilated him for going after Kwame Brown the way he did, because he was wrong. All to defend LeBron. So that's where he got annihilated at. I call people out for what they do and they way in action. It's like, how dare you when you walking around here with boo thing? Sit there and kind of criticize somebody. Now, here's Captain Jack on IG talking about what's going on. Because Captain Jack is an amazing human being, man. They used to have a show that was prominent and great, and they went Hollywood. And when you go Hollywood, it's a whole different reality. You kind of get away from what people loved about the show, meaning the people, because that's who support the show. And I've seen a lot of shows do that, and they never really understand why the people don't rock with them no more. Henceforth, the Joe Budden Podcast. We're using that as an example because that's true. When the Joe Budden Podcast first came out and Joe Budden was wearing them dirty ass wife beaters, we was all loving Joe Budden Podcast. It was live. Rory and Maul sitting over there on the side. He on the couch and he just telling it like it is. That's when it was live. Now he's in some big, gigantic rental space with 6 overpaid individuals who got nothing to talk about. Boring and uninterested people. Joe is even bored to even be there. And he's wearing all this overpriced sweaters and house shoes and sunglasses and a skull cap indoors. Looking like a complete moron. So now you look at looking at a situation that's starting to come and materialize that don't make any type of sense. Why would Steven Jackson says, I wouldn't have let him go in like that on all them guys because I got relationships with those people. Right there. Then you've already compromised the interview. You've already compromised it, Captain Jack. I didn't say he should have cut him off because he's going too hard on those people. Those people said stuff about him, Jack. You probably didn't see the interviews. But those people had something to say about him. Jack is on there for comedy relief. It's Matt's show. It was never Jack's show. That show was given to Matt Barnes. Jack was the co-star of the show. He brought him in to be his co-host on the show. The show was negotiated and gave to Matt. No Steven Jackson was in mind. You see, we're going to go ahead and do it this way because I feel it needs to be done. Hold on, everybody. Everybody, hold on. Let's do it this way because this is the rightful way to get it done. Let's listen to Captain Jack.
I already spoke on Katt. Katt a real one. He spoke his mind. Everybody should speak their mind. That's just what it is. I wouldn't let him go hard as he did on a lot of people on our show. I just wouldn't because we got relationships with him. That's just what it is. That's just what it is. You don't have a show, so you wouldn't know what you would do. We've done hundreds of shows, so we know how to handle that type of shit. The whole world talking about the Katt interview. The whole world. Everybody giving their opinions. But I can't speak on it because I'm so live. It ain't got nothing to do with you. Well, go on everybody else page and tell them that too then.
Say shout out to Shannon Sharpe, man.
You see, they all hating on Shannon. Now here come, what's his name, talking about shouts out to Shannon Sharpe. This is YG. Now watch what YG say.
Now listen, bro. That nigga thugging the fuck. It's my job to show y'all examples of how this shit go and how y'all not using 60% of your brain, right? Okay, let's think about this. Let's recap. Back up right there. Just what last year, Shannon Sharpe was on Skip Bayless show getting talked to crazy.
Zeke waves out. Take me out, coach.
Oh, we ain't gonna talk about this.
Take me out. It's my turn.
It's my turn. All kind of shit. Being the white man's what? Exactly. And the minute he stood on integrity and left that place, he went #1 with Stephen A. He #1. Now he just did a fucking, when he bet on himself though, stopped trying to be on A shows and shit and just went to YouTube and put a camera up and had some fucking liquor and bet on himself.
His liquor too.
His liquor. I believe. It is his liquor. Bet on himself. He 2 million strong in subscribers. That Katt Williams interview is at 22 million views, one of the most viewed interviews ever that fast. Bet on yourself, man. That's a perfect example of what the fuck I be talking about, man.
And that's the thing that I'm talking about. Oh, that's Slim. Yeah, Slim Thug. I keep saying YG. I don't know. Forgive me. He created a power vacuum in the podcast game. Now all these podcasters showing their shirt. Sharpe saw an opportunity and he took it. It's already at 30 million, y'all. Y'all just don't know it yet. I already know because I've talked to the people over there at Club Shay Shay. See, that's the beautiful thing about this. Some of the people that work there, that's behind the cameras, these people started out just like y'all. Like this was something experimental. They worked, some of these people worked at different companies that was on YouTube. And it's funny that some of them tried to open up YouTube pages. And the one guy used to work with me. He used to ask like, hey, can I, do this for your channel and all that? And I'm like, I don't really use all that stuff. So it'd be going to waste giving it to me. But I was always respectful for him. And remember the guy, I used to do the cartoons? Remember that guy who used to do my animated cartoons? When I used to put those out? Now those things are popping. But I was doing that 2-3 years ago with my Tiny and T.I. I used to have all those cartoons. The guy who was doing that is now doing work for a lot of these other people. He didn't made it. He didn't came up, got him a job. So I'm happy for them. So when I see these guys that's on YouTube make it, and it's just because they don't have a YouTube channel, they make it in other ways. That's good. And they doing it the right way. But you heard what Captain Jack said, right? If I would have had him on the show. But that's why you don't have Katt Williams on your show. Katt Williams knows not to come on your show. You have too much of an allegiance to Kevin Hart and all those guys. So why would he come on your show and you ain't going to let him talk to them the way he wants to talk to them? Why would you do that? Why would you allow them to come on the show and be super disrespectful? You see what I'm saying? You would try to censor Katt and tell him what he can't say. But would you tell Kevin Hart and all them what they couldn't say about Katt? No, you wouldn't. You would let all of them guys go because you have a relationship with them. So you've already compromised your interview integrity right there in what you just said. Because I got a relationship with them, I can't do well. Then why the hell would we interview with you? Why would Katt sit down and want to do an interview with somebody that's going to be biased? You just admitted you're going to be biased towards him. Right there in your interview. And that's where me and Captain Jack differ. That's where me and you differ when our opinions of what Shannon Sharpe did. I said Shannon did a good job of letting Katt talk. But my thing is he didn't have any like rebuttals, any comebacks enough to challenge him on some of the things he was saying because he didn't know. He didn't prep well for this interview. He was prepping to ask him basic questions. And Katt wanted to get all these things off his chest. So I said I wouldn't say he did a great job. Now that's going too far. I would say he did a good job enough of letting Katt just control the show. So Shannon Sharpe heard all this. He heard it all. Shannon did a good job of not cutting Katt off. Let Katt cook. That was his thing. Let him go. Let him get it all out. Because as you notice, all of that stuff came first. Like he was getting all that out first. Then it went to, so how did you get started in comedy? It's like, whoa, the interview went way left. See, that's what I know. Y'all don't pay attention too much to things. But let me explain to y'all how it went so that y'all could be caught up with it. It's in full speed and full time. It wasn't supposed to go that way. Not at all. Somebody said, I definitely caught that scene. Right. Did you notice the interview started about 45 minutes or an hour into the whole thing? Katt Williams started out dropping bombs from the moment he came through the door. That don't normally happen in an interview. You normally introduce the person. So he had full control over the show. Right, from the jump. All right, you build and then you get to that point. That's when y'all are conducting a real interview. But Shannon Sharpe came up to defend himself because he was going under a lot of attack from people that just wanted to attack him. I'm just saying I would have had some questions to go back to ask, which would have made the interview even more great, is that you had some pushback. And there was no real pushback because he didn't know what to ask him because Shannon Sharpe didn't know what was going on with the whole situation. And I'm like, you got a team there. Y'all should have prepped. Like, y'all should have prepped better for this. Now, like I told you, I know a guy that works at Club Shay Shay and do that. That's not his department at all. You know, they're just so happy with what's happening with the interview, but that's not his department. So he don't know where any of this is coming from. And Fair Use Act, this is all used for commentary purposes only. We're not here to steal anyone's whole interview. No, Shannon had questions he wanted to ask. He didn't know anything about all of this that was finna go down. He was unaware. Steven Jackson is just jealous. That's one. He's a hater. At heart, Steven Jackson is bitter. If that was me, I would have did that, man. Katt a real one, man. And all of that, so he can get Katt on it. He want Katt on his show. So that's all he trying to say. If I had Katt on my show, this is how Katt would have went. But no, you wouldn't have let Katt talk. How would that been better? You trying to censor Katt Williams. You think somebody want to see that? I don't want to see nobody censor Katt Williams. That's exactly what he's been talking about. Who the hell want to see that? Steven Jackson's out there, boy. Captain Jack. We saw what you did with Kwame Brown. And I used to say all the time, man, Captain Jack a real one, man. Yeah, that's a real dude. Until you see them in a light where they makes them, you be like, damn, you ain't a real one. You just a bitter, hating dude. And they just send you off all the time. You start to notice the situation and then all the stuff he was doing, all the capping and the line, and he was acting like he was Nino Brown in the streets and all this craziness. I'm like, dog, you did not make no money trapping in the streets. I know your life. You was selling weed out there in Baylor University, the white college, banging white girls and going to rave parties, selling weed with Lee Nayland. Dude, I know you. Know everything you did. Selling that dirt weed to them dudes. You was on the basketball team. You could smoke and do anything. They didn't care. That's why Baylor just wanted you to play for them. Banging the white girl that worked at the Walmart down the street. Steven Jackson, no, he can't play with me. You was selling weed for Lee. Stop. Sorry, Lee Nayland, man. I didn't want to bring all that up. But be cool, Steven Jackson. Be humble. Mr. Pro-Black, married to the Mexican. Remember, he was the gang-banging Muslim who was allowed to say he was Allah allowed him to smoke weed. Yeah, that guy, Steven Jackson. He's wearing a thobe with a Gucci logo on it, and his Muslim brothers approve that. Yeah. So he finally gave up that facade. You don't see him wearing no thobes no more. Because people were going to call him out on it. They were like, "Dog, Jack, I saw you hitting the blunt right now. You got the blunt off camera, but we see the smoke coming up behind you." Well, Allah said I'm allowed to smoke because I'm a work in progress. Once I ascend to that level, then I won't smoke no more. It's going to be, when did this happen? What kind of new Allah rules are this? He came back only to speak to Steven Jackson. Oh my God. Steven Jackson's out there, boy. Captain Jack. Huh? Steven Jackson's out there. Steven Jackson's out there, boy. Captain Jack. Huh? No, his brother was involved in that banking life. You were affiliated. Yes, he really said that. He was affiliated. You semi-crime related. You made your millions of dollars in the NBA, fool. That's where you made your millions of dollars. Not banking in the streets. Why are you trying to act like you was trapping in the hood? Where they do that at? You gonna try to turn a new leaf like I'm out here helping the people. How are you helping the people by out there advertising and promoting? Yeah, I check in. I'm in the hood. You come to Chicago, check in with who? You go to O Block like, yeah, I could just go to any block. You're supposed to be there helping the kids. The big three, they go grab kids and help them. And the players normally do that. There's one of the players that was on the team that's out here from Chicago, that's from O Block, that approved that for you to come over there and meet these kids. And they brought these kids to the game. It had nothing to do with you being tough going over there. smoking, like, yeah, I went over there and smoked weed in them. Yeah, I pull up with all my jewelry on. Dog, you not a thug. What is the point of doing that? Did you save any of those kids? Damn near 2 of the people that was in the video with you was dead. That was in that video. What did you do for them? By coming to the hood to shoot a basketball and didn't make a shot. Just to say I got my jewelry on over here. That supposed to make you look tough? You check in. You was checking in. No, you checked in into your expensive ass hotel that the Big 3 and Ice Cube paid for downtown. That's where you checked in at. You see what I'm saying? These are the fake people that want to say they one thing and promote a whole nother thing. This is why I was calling people out for what they was doing, their ways and actions. Oh, I'm checking in. That is what we can't respect. Somebody faking and pretending for a bag and attention, because that's what's hot now. Being the socially conscious brother is what was hot now. So that's what we gonna do. You're a gatekeeper. Right. And whenever there's something to send off man, that's him. He the send off man. They send him to go do something stupid. They send him his whole career, he's getting in trouble in the whole NBA for fighting for somebody else. Ron Artest go in the stands, he go in the stands. I'm riding with my boy, man. I'm riding with him. And every time you didn't roll with him and got knocked out, he the one got knocked out by a midget named, or somebody really short, about 5'2", named Fingers, with one disformed arm. He got one short arm, one long arm. He hit him with that short arm and knocked Steven Jackson out in the club. Called him a $500 NBA player. You paid all this money to get the police report removed. But I got it before you removed it. Finger said, you $500 NBA player? Punched you and knocked you out. You got hit by a car. You shot a gun in the air. Didn't hit anybody. Got whacked by a car. Knocked all your teeth out. All your 2 front teeth. Yeah, your 2 front teeth. Shoot, they knocked out all row of your teeth, knocking you in that car in Indiana. So you got punched in the mouth, knocked out, ran, pulled out a gun, went outside, started shooting at everybody and missing, shooting in the air, telling people to back up. The car come, pop, knock you in the air. You fall right on your face. Bang, all your teeth fly out your mouth. And here's the kicker, y'all. This is all facts. 100% facts. Then, Mr. Code of the Street, you went and told to the police. You told the police. It was this little guy. He had one short arm and the other guy had a long arm, and his homeboy hit me with the car. You described the car. It's all in the police report. So you were the one snitching. But you, man, we about to go ride on them, man. We had all these guns in the car, man. We finna ride on. Which one is it? Steven Jackson, Captain Jack, toughest man in the world, ran to the police. Twice. They interviewed him that night, then he came back later and gave him another interview. He didn't snitch not once, but twice. Your description of the vehicle helped them locate the vehicle, and then they helped them find them at his cousin apartment. Don't let me find fingers and interview him. And the funny thing about that, Al Cheeks, is he lied about the wedding story too. I have the letter, sir. Sino has the exact letter that was sent by the lawyers that his soon-to-be wife that he never married, his baby mother, she had the letter also and put it out. He didn't even sign the damn prenup. I haven't seen the full interview with Ticket and Kwame. I saw some of it, and shouts out to them. Shouts out to them brothers, Kwame Brown, Bus Life, and Ticket TV. They did an interview, I think a couple days ago. I was watching some of it before I had to do my own work. Shouts out to them two brothers. You know, Ticket's on his way up. You know, modifying his channel, doing things, trying to grow. Now, you see, brothers can get along and do everything the right way. Y'all ain't got to agree on everything. Nobody have to agree 100% with everything somebody is doing, but everybody can get along and everybody can eat. There's a lot of food at the table. So why would you be so mad at Shannon Sharpe? Right. All that internet is cop stuff, but you went to the police twice. And you know I know. He know I know. He know I got the letter from the doggone lawyer who was begging Stephen Jackson to come down and sign his paperwork before you get married. She should have just signed it right then and there at the wedding day. Why would you go through the wedding with her reverend and everything else? He was about to get railroaded. But she should have went ahead and signed it. She would have still got everything. She could have contested it. And I guess somebody told her. And at the last minute, they were like, no, you ain't marrying her, Jack. You got everybody down there thinking you done handled the business already, and you haven't. Because this is the mentality they promote. They promote this type of mentality. So I don't agree with you, Captain Jack, based on that fact alone. So when Shannon came out and said what he said, I understood. Because Shannon was speaking out because he can, you know, he just like, man, that's some real salamander thing. You somebody that know Shannon. You could have went and talked to Shannon Sharpe. You chose the snake route. Because that was the route that you felt was best for you. That's what you wanted to portray. You the real life MC Gusto, boy. And would crash out to try to prove you Gusto. Right. He wouldn't have did that on my platform. He wouldn't have did what? So you want to try to say, oh man, he wanted man, Katt was on Katt Jack. Because he got relationships. See, he ain't gonna mess that up. Because you know what Jack doing right now? He going to talk to them same people like that he did. Man, you see that Kev? Man, I wouldn't have let him do that. I wouldn't let him do that to Kevin Hart on my show. He going too hard, man. No, I couldn't let him do all that on my show. Man, you know, that's wrong. Man, see that? Shannon Sharpe shouldn't have did that. See, this is how these snakes work. They want the interview so bad. He that guy that's in Hollywood Shuffle at the end. This is bull. You see, this is bull. See, they want to give this to us, man. Yeah. They ain't gonna give it to the other man. They only gonna give it to him. Because they know only a slave would do this, brother. And they get you, as soon as you say, I don't want to do it then, because he right. This is bull. Then next thing you know, he take the role. I do it. Of course he would. Yep. MC Stephen Gusto. Right. They've had everybody on their show and they ain't amassed none of that success. And now he wants to be the hater. That's how I was, Steve-O. Steve-O, I was like that to Captain Jack till I found out all this stuff. I'm like, oh, hell no. Because everybody I know that's from the streets, like, knew him and hung around him and knew him. And I'm like, Kwame played with this dude. Like, he been around him, and he's like, man, that lined up with what I know of him and what he did. And I was like, I even asked him, like, dog, what you doing this for? Like, you $1 million basketball player. What the hell are you doing? Dude tried to be a rapper and all kind of stuff. Man, got a gun on stage. Like, what is wrong with you? You know what I'm saying? It's like, what is wrong with you? Your brother died behind all this stuff in the streets. And I saw you get all popular because the left wing came and grabbed you for this George Floyd situation, since he was related to you somehow. Y'all were related, and boy, that's all they needed. That's all they needed. You blew up because of that. If it wasn't for the Georgie situation, they still wouldn't know you, Jack. So Captain Jack got his bag, being the activist role after what happened with Georgie. And he rode that to success. He saw Shannon Sharpe and Katt Williams riding by in the car. I don't like that. Had to drop a dime. Had to drop a dime to Kevin Hart now. I don't like that. I don't like that one bit. But see, that's the sad part, is that, man, you ain't even got to take that route. That don't even make sense. The route he took don't even make sense. That's the disgusting part about it. Absolutely. So when you hear Shannon Sharpe go off, it's because he was deeply hurt by the situation. Now let's listen. Now, fair use, fair use, fair use. This is for commentary purposes only. Now, Unc is in his feelings. Unc is mad. Oh no, we sped it up so we can get through it a lot faster. Now, what we need and what we talking about here and what he detailed is actually true. They were hated on. 100% hated on. And it had nothing to do with any of the stuff that people talk about. What the hell is this on TV? I said, what the hell is this? Yeah, he saw Slim Thug, he saw Captain Jack, he saw all these guys do what they do. I was like, what the hell is this? Some movie called Ski School. Ski School. All right. He said, Shannon is brilliant because it's the same content that Joe Rogan does. Oh, by the way, how you think Gilly feels? Well, see, that's the thing. Gilly ain't said nothing. You know what I'm saying? They ain't hating. They ain't said a word. Gilly and Wallow doing their thing. See, that's what I'm saying. Everybody can eat. There's room for everybody to eat. So what if somebody else get a bag? Worry about what your bag. That's what I'm saying. Worry about your bag. Like they say, I hate Gilbert Arenas podcast. You just hate no Gil because you don't like Gil. The podcast sucks. It's not my fault. I detailed why the podcast sucks. If anybody asks me, I will tell them that. If it gets better, it will get better. The former host that was on the show ain't on the show. She ain't there no more. Why? Because she said the show sucked. Because you got two people up there who don't know anything. But what she don't really know is three of them that don't know anything up there. It's a clickbait show. So long as it's a clickbait show, that's going to be the difference. When your show is predicated on fake traffic, it's predicated on what's trending on Twitter, what stupid thing that we could say next, you don't get any knowledge from watching that show. You don't get any real education from watching that show. But if you want to watch it, knock yourself out. I cannot listen to that man for more than 10 minutes before I get ready to just throw up because the show is that terrible. MJ Wilson, we was here when Gil was getting 300 views for 3 hours on a live stream. And now he's getting, what, hundreds of thousands of views. So get out of here. It's all fake. We've already pointed it out. It's fake traffic, fake comments in the comment section. You go and look up those profiles of those people, and they don't exist. I've interviewed Gil right here on this channel, and we went through his fake traffic. He bragged he had 16 million views and got 40,000 new subscribers. Do you know? I will let you do the math. 16 million views, right? Divide that by the 44,000. He had 44,000 new subs. So you tell me how much of a percent did not subscribe to their page. What is that number? I'll let you give me that number. 16 million, and they got 44,000 subscribers. You tell me the percentage that did not subscribe to his page. That is wrong, Kane. 16 million divided by 44,000. You tell me what is the percentage that subscribed to his page? Oh my God, you guys are awful at math. Y'all need to go back to math class right now. Yes, that's the percentage of the people that subscribed. Give me the percentage of the ones that didn't. 98% is actually close. That's close. But it's actually 99%. 99.7% did not subscribe to his page. Y'all are awful at math. Y'all need to go back to math class for real. 99.7% did not subscribe to the page. So 0.3, 0.0000000.3 subscribe to his page. How do you have 16 million and only get that? At 27 million, Shannon Sharpe show got over 500,000 subscribers. Over 500,000 new subscribers. Right, less than 1% subscribe to the page. So that lets you know that it's fake. There's no way you get 16 million views and have only 0.3 subscribe to your page. Those numbers don't add up. Rasan Bey is the only one to get it right. 99.7. That is the number. Exactly. Now, if Kwame Brown has 16 million views, how many subscribers do you think he gonna get? He gonna get anywhere from 200,000 to probably 300,000 subscribers. Easy. But that's not why. Now, I did this interview live here on this page. So the same thing I'm telling you, I told Gilbert Arenas right to his face, live in the interview. So it's on this page. So that's real. That number 99.7 is real. So I know what the show is about because we consulted that show. Kenyon Martin is the only one that makes sense on the show. Rashad McCants is going to say something wild on the show. His takes are just going to be wild. Gil is there for comic relief and to say something really stupid that's going to trend. That's his job. And Brandon, he's just there just to be there. His thing is provide the guests for the show. They had no guests on the show that would show up there. Why do you think that is? One, because you got it at your house. Two, don't nobody really deal with Gilbert Arenas. He's now trying to get people to come and, by kissing LeBron's ass and doing all this to get people on his show. Now get some relationships in the business. Steph Curry interview, they had to go on location to Steph to go see Steph and bring the show there. And he gave him 30 minutes because of Brandon. Because of Brandon Jennings' relationship with Steph working in his camp, he was able to get Steph to do it. Right. Now Kenyon Martin gonna get his own show. And he gonna step away from the nonsense. He just there to do his job. He ain't there to participate in any Gil antics. So if anybody liked that show, that's on you. The show is trash. I've listened to it plenty of times. It's all these dumb topics, like kid topics, like what teenagers would listen to. Just because stuff trend on Twitter don't mean that it's, for everybody. This is stuff like kids talk about. Now, if you got to do a Mount Rushmore, how would Kevin Durant and Steph Curry and Kawhi Leonard, how would they be on Mount Rushmore? That's like, is Steph Curry the top 5 right now, currently, after his win versus the Celtics? Do you really think he's top 5 now? I'd be like, I can't deal with this. I really can't. When y'all want to talk basketball, you're a former NBA player. Like, come on. You got 3 guys that played in the league. Can somebody talk for real on the show? You need a real show. So it's juvenile, and it's made for people who don't think. And they play on that. They was like, and Gil don't care. He told you right here. I'm like, Gil, do you watch the show to see what's wrong with it after the show is over? Nope. I was like, he told you flat out right here on my page. I was like, Gil, do you even like the show? Oh, yeah. Me and Gil talked after he clowned Isaiah Thomas. That was one of the last conversations we had. Before I cut all communications. But that was one of the last conversations we had was about Isaiah Thomas. And he's like, you mad because I got an opinion? I'm like, dude, your opinion, you can have your opinion. I'm not mad about that. But you don't believe LeBron James is the best player to ever play in this game. You're only saying that based on the fact for political reasons. There's politics involved in that. That's the only reason you're saying it. So you're lying to the public. You're lying to everybody, even lying to yourself. And that's what I'm contesting. And he told me, oh, I'm only talking about Isaiah Thomas because it pissed off Brandon Jennings. That's why I left him off my list. I had the top 5 point guards. I left him off the list because I like messing with Brandon Jennings. That's the only reason why. It get him hot. But see, here was the thing. They do that as traps so that they can work to get somebody on the show. So he was like, man, we might can get Isaiah Thomas now because he want to talk to you, Jack. So they want to get him to get back on the show. Skip Bayless don't care. Look, Skip Bayless don't care what Shannon Sharpe do. He feel like Shannon Sharpe, y'all wouldn't even know Shannon Sharpe if it wasn't for Skip. And that's true. Y'all wouldn't have known what Shannon Sharpe could do. I knew it. I ain't saying Skip built Shannon Sharpe. That's not true. I knew what Shannon Sharpe could do. If anybody believed I was the first and only person that believed, besides Shannon Sharpe, what he was going to do. From day one before it even aired. Okay, there we go. I was like, man, can y'all hear me? I'm talking. I'm like, can they hear me? What's going on around here? They didn't came with the sabotage. Yeah, look at them. They got everybody to jump off. Oh no, that ain't them. That's Gilbert Arenas now. That's who that is. That's Gil now. Gil and them got mad and they decided to strike back. See? Didn't I tell you that's how they operate? They come in and start false flagging and doing all kind of nonsense to try to mess you up in the game. Absolutely. Oh, you know it. Yeah, so when they come with the hate, this is why you always keep it moving, because they gonna come with the hate, and it's your job to go out there and produce. Well, the natural instincts behind the so-called experts in the game and those who are really good at podcasting. You look at the Joe Rogan podcast; they have a rhythm of doing it. The Joe Rogan podcast to me is like it's not my cup of tea. They have their audience, and their audience is not really for me. They had a couple episodes I've watched, and they talk about something, and it's so bland, but it's mostly right wing oriented, you know. So they have an agenda, and they have their core audience that listens to it, you know. So yeah, they have like a biased approach to it, you know. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, let's let finish up.
And how he's treated me or how she has treated me. So, but all this notion, y'all.
Talking. The Black Hawk is talking, boy. Fair use, fair use, fair use, fair use. Fair use, fair use. This is Fair Use Act. He's not speaking to me because I'm not in his way. I just wish he had prepped better for the interview so that he would have more pushback on certain questions, or you could ask him to expand on that. He just let Katt talk and he didn't say anything because he didn't know anything. So if you had prepped and knew, I would have said, well, what movies could you give us an example? What movies that had all this like homosexual stuff in their scripts that they took out, that was your role, and then they took you out and gave it to Kevin Hart? Like which films, for example? You know, because people are going to say you're lying or it's not true. You name some films that they replaced you, or just you had those scripts and it went to Kevin Hart? Because I would be like, well, I don't remember seeing any homo stuff with Kevin Hart in it. Like, how did this happen with you? You know, I would have had some pushback on these things, or some type of like not just pushback, but some interjection in there to say, hey, you know, can you expand on that a little, or can you explain this? Well, you know, they did say this. You know, he had like one thing about what was said only on his show. Like when Sayers was on the show, he said this. You know, that was it. That's not hating. Asking someone to have some pushback or some just interjections and to prep better is not hating. What Steven Jackson did was hating. Steve saying, I wouldn't have let Katt Williams said all that. Now, see, that's a whole different thing than what I'm saying. Captain Jack is way out of bounds. He's saying he will just limit what Katt got to say because you got relationships with those people. What that got to do with it? Those people who came on his show had the same rights as Katt Williams. So Katt should have the same right to speak. So Jack just lets you know that if you come on his show, you ain't gonna be able to say what you want to say, especially about somebody he liked. Oh no, I like him, so you can't do that. You know, we can't have an interview then. If you're gonna allow that person, are you gonna let Kevin Hart? You gonna tell Kevin Hart what he can and can't say if he come on your show, Jack? So that's what I'm saying. I did not tell this man to muzzle Katt Williams at any time, any shape, any form. What Jack did is wrong. That's flat out hating. And I doubt he would have did anything. If Katt Williams in front of him was cooking like that, I doubt he had anything to damn say. Isaiah Thomas had to come on your show and check you, Jack. When you were sitting there, had Charles Oakley up there, you let Charles Oakley talk about Isaiah any way he wanted to, and you was sitting there laughing like a hyena. Man, Michael don't want to be your friend, Isaiah. Cause like Isaiah Thomas needs to be his friend. You a lapdog. Isaiah's a boss. The first black professional athlete to ever appear on the cover of Forbes. You better get it right. Isaiah Lloyd Thomas III has never been a fool. He was the commissioner. I mean, he was the players' union rep when you was playing in the league, Oak. He's been the president of basketball operations. He was the first owner, black owner in there before Magic, before Michael and all of them. He had part ownership of the Toronto Raptors. But all you do is carry Michael Jordan's golf bag. Getting thrown out the garden head first. Throwing you out. And you gonna talk about Isaiah Thomas like you could talk like that about Zeke? You out your mind. Isaiah sat down right there and talked to you, Jack. He was like, how did you get back in the league? Oh, Al got me back. No, Al called me. Yeah, Al put me in contact with you. I got you back in the league. Oh, that's right. I forgot about that. How you gonna forget about the man that got you back in the NBA to make millions of dollars to feed your family? You was out there when you got hit by that car after the Malice in the Palace and you shooting out there outside the nightclub and got popped in the air. And Isaiah got you back in the league. He sat back on the show. He's like, that's right. Isaiah, he was like, man, yeah, man, y'all saved me. No, I don't know, man. And they saved me. No, Isaiah saved you. I saved you, Jack. So for you to sit here and let Charles Oakley come on this show and disrespect me, he was letting you know right there, boy, you done messed up. This dude from the west side of Chicago, he don't play that, Jack. He don't play. The black man that owned his own champagne. Number one, champagne. No, ain't because he's stupid, because he's high. He's high all the damn time. And take them damn sunglasses off. Take the damn glasses off. Simple Simon, mother. Well, everybody here is yeah, they getting ready for the games, so mm. Well, they always look for they look for a lot of they're always looking for what they call a standout performance or standout type of situation. No, no, no. Definitely subscribe and definitely get on the Patreon because that makes the most sense. The Casino for Life Patreon is definitely the best Patreon. Another year, we've led the record. Last year in 2022, we broke the record. This year, we defended our title, and we are the most consistent page on the Patreon. Out of all the Patreons there, Joe Budden Patreon, all of them, we beat them all as far as consistency of work. So that means you get more with us than you do them losers. Joe Budden modeled his page after mine. Well, he can't fight. Period. See, that's the problem that a lot of people just don't understand. Um, no, not really. When you start looking at the gist of things that's going around, you start seeing uh, a lot of people make their own interjections into what's happening or what's going on. Well, he got the attention he want because Shannon damn sure responded. So if they think of any other reason, it's on the table. Maybe I'm Tarzan. So yeah, he bumped his head, but he got what he wanted. He got some attention on him. But he need to be more focused what's going to happen with all the smoke because it's going up in smoke. The Showtime deal is over. So they got to renegotiate, see what's going to happen there, or see they going to get another platform for the show. I don't know what they finna do. So they got a lot of stuff to, figure out. Oh, should I make a Patreon version of this? I don't think I need to. I think I covered everything on this subject right now with Captain Jack and all that here. So I don't think there's nothing here that I could say on the Patreon to this. But we got some more interesting things coming up on the Patreon that I think you're gonna enjoy. So I'm out. Shouts out to Kwame Brown, Bus Life, Ticket TV. I want to say shouts out to all of y'all who came in here and chilled out with me for a good hour and a half. It's time to get to football. So I'm going to let y'all go. Don't forget to go to the Patreon, which is Carcino for Life. You're going to enjoy that. Got something special for y'all coming. So stay tuned. We out.